Good morning and welcome to day 113 northbound on the Appalachian Trail. Well, it was a lovely time for the most part at Mosey's place. Mosey does a wonderful job. She's a great hostess for her hostel where I stayed last night in New Jersey. So there was just there was another dog there who was aggressive. So I had to stay on guard all the time because of Micah. Wanted to protect my dog. Some dogs are socially trained and some aren't. So anyway, Micah had to stay in the bunk room pretty much locked in there. But he enjoyed the rest, and it really turned out to be okay. I just felt bad because Micah is such a social dog. For him to be sort of locked in a room and not socializing with the other people, was hard. But I also didn't want his head bitten off, so I had to make a choice. Anyway, all good. We had a delicious breakfast. Thank you, Mosey. She made a wonderful breakfast for us. And some of us are back on trail, and some people are taking zeros. And right now, I got dropped off right where I left off, which was at the headquarters, High Point State headquarters of New Jersey. And my plan is to go 14 miles today to the Pochuck shelter, in which I will most likely pitch my tent. And I'm totally self-sufficient. I have everything I need. I did a very light resupply yesterday, although I did buy more dog food for Mr. Micah, who is super hungry these days. So we're a little heavy just because I just want to make sure he has enough food. So, but we're good. And I had to get a couple of tunas for lunches, but that's about it. Everything else is pretty good. So that's my plan. It's Friday, and I hope you're having a good Friday. The weather is off the charts amazing. 63 degrees this morning, low humidity, bright sunshine. I couldn't ask for more. Nothing else I would rather be doing right now except hiking. So really, really happy to be here. And just being outdoors and smelling the fresh air. And, I've come to the conclusion that my element is being out on these hikes, spending the night in the hostel or spending the night in my tent or in the shelter, being outdoors. The whole backpacking experience is what I love. The hostels, they're important because you shower, you get a meal, you get to resupply, and so they're very convenient, and the people are super nice. They know how to cater to hikers, and all that's great. But would I rather be sleeping in a bunk room with 4 other people, or outside in my tent with the breeze and the birds? The breeze and the birds, I'll take them any day. But I'm not knocking the hostels. The hostels are great, and we need them for inclement weather, for the showers, for the resupply. So super, super important. I'm just telling you what I love. I love being outdoors, love being in my tent, sleeping in my tent. hearing the birds, the peacefulness of all that is what I long for and what I love. So anyway, I'm very happy to be doing what I'm doing today. Enough of that. Sorry. Okay. I think I'm a little traumatized from Micah's little experience, but he's okay, and he's quite a trooper. This boy, he's something. All right. Hope you're all having a good Friday. I also wanted to let you know that I spoke to Lisa yesterday, my receptionist at the office, and she told me that there were some people who had some questions, and I'm not going to mention names, but she said one of the questions was, which I'd like to address, how does Micah deal with the heat? How do we deal with that? Well, as you know, last week we had by the time you see this, it'll probably be 2 weeks, but we had quite a heat wave last week. So one of the things to keep in mind is we are in what's called the green tunnel. So there's a lot of shade where we are. So even though in the sun it might be 90 degrees, in the green tunnel, the hottest it ever got, because I have a thermodrop, which is a thermometer attached to my pack, the hottest it ever got was 86. And that's warm, but Micah was not dying of the heat. I'm fine in the heat, so I don't worry about me. But we're concerned about the dog. He was fine. The other thing to keep in mind is Micah has hair, not fur, because of the breed he is. So he does stay cooler as a result of the fact that he has hair, not fur. And his hair is such a length right now that he's not getting sunburn if we were in the direct sun. If his hair was very short, they can sometimes get sunburn. But I don't worry about that now because his hair is good length. Plus, like I said, we are in the green tunnel. The other thing I do, if I see him getting too hot, we rest, and I take water and I put it on his head and I drape it around his ears and his head and his face and his neck, and that seems to keep him cool. And then I'm smart about it. I mean, we try to go out early during the heat of the day. In the middle of the day is when we usually take our lunch break. We'll find a nice shady place and eat our lunch there. So, when you're hiking with a dog, you have to be smart about the heat and know that they need to increase their water intake, and he does. I increase his water intake. We stop at streams and make sure that he's drinking. If the streams are dry, then yours truly carries more water to make sure he's hydrated, that we're both hydrated. So it seems to be working out fine so far. The other question we had was something about my shoes. Oh, have I replaced my shoes? Yes, I have replaced my shoes. I am on my third pair of shoes since I started my hike. I started with a pair that had about 100 miles on them. And then after 500 miles, I replaced them. And then after the second 500 miles, I replaced them. So I'm on my third pair of shoes, and I try to replace them every 500 miles. So when I get to 1,500 miles, I'm at 1,340 right now. I'll have a pair of shoes sent to wherever I am, a hostel or somewhere in front of me. Usually I do Amazon Prime because I know it will get there in 2 days. So that's what I do in terms of my shoes. So if you have any more questions, drop them in the comments. or let Lisa know if you talk to Lisa, or if you're a personal friend, you can always text me, but dropping them in the comments. I do check the comments when I can. All right. Hope that answers your questions. Bye. There it is. The highest spot in New Jersey. That's where we're headed. Well, this is cool. Before I even got to the high point, there's this platform here where you can go up and take a good view. I think we're gonna do it. Wow. This is the view from up here. Super cool. This is a great place up here. You can sit and have lunch or sun or have a party. Wow. Nice. Nice section of trail here. We're about to go into these pastures. Really, really pretty. And there's some wildflowers and some berry bushes on the side. Yeah, the black raspberries are not ripe yet, so we'll leave those be. But these are just tall grasses. And mountains back there. I'm sure that's where I'm heading. It's north. Nice. So nice to see these creeks, springs running again after that nice rain we had the other day. Well, it wasn't so nice. It was very violent, but it was enough to fill all these. Wonderful. This is a really beautiful part of the trail. Just going through this grassy area with the mountains in front of me and the farmland in the distance. Very, very, very peaceful. Oh, it's been very beautiful. Right now it's beautiful. We just had about a 1 mile road walk, which was not very beautiful, and it was very hot. But that's okay, because it gave me the opportunity to get water from this woman's barn. She was very nice and allowed me to fill up my bottles and my CNOC bag, because apparently at the shelter, which is about 2 miles away, there is no water source there. So you've got to carry your water in. So right now, I probably am carrying close to 8 pounds of water between both my bags full and my CNOC bag. So, yeah, it's feeling a little heavy right now, but it's worth it because we'll have plenty of water for tonight's dinner and tomorrow's breakfast. All right, so we have about 2 miles to get to the shelter, and right now it's just this flat grassy area, so it's very pleasant. It's a beautiful temperature, and the trees are covering us, so we're not in the hot sun like we were on the road. So here we are, marching on to the Pochuck shelter. That's where we're going. All right, I'll check in a bit. And I just checked the profile, and where do you think the shelter is? Yes, up on that mountain, right at the top. So with all this water, it's going to be quite a climb. Can't wait. To the Pochuck shelter, and yes, it was quite a climb to get up here. But there's a lovely saying here It says, in loving memory of Jim Quinlan, 1953 to 2015. As you come to this place for a long or short rest, think of the journey you're on. Think of the people you hold in your heart, especially those that are gone. Think of this man who took time from his life to help build this shelter for you. With hope, all its guests should find comfort and peace, a hope we all have for him too. Beautiful. So there's a couple of really good tent spots on the sort of road, the Blue Blaze to the shelter. The thing is, the bear box is over here, so, but that's no big deal. We could come over here and drop our food. There's also a spot I saw over here. Which doesn't look too bad. See that one right over there? And then I'm close to the bear box and close to the picnic table. Yeah, this one actually looks pretty good. And I've got the sun over there. So I think this will be a fine place to spend the night. All right. And we'll see if anybody else comes. But right now it's, what time is it? It's 5:15. And we're going to set up camp.